transfer news. Now we have an update on Rodrigo and a couple of other players, and from a very credible source in regards to Rodrigo. We'll also talk about our latest injury reports. But first, let's jump into the news that has come out today. We've obviously talked about Rodrigo the last couple of days from different journalists, but this is what Florian Plettenberg has had to say today. Breaking: understand Arsenal are now seriously considering a transfer for Rodrigo. Talks have begun behind the scenes. The 24-year-old is a potential departure candidate at Real Madrid. It's difficult, but Arsenal are currently exploring all options for a possible transfer deal on. So, obviously, as I said, the last couple of days we've talked about yesterday's video. We were talking about Rodrigo and Real Madrid wanting around 80 million for him. Is that a deal that would be possible for us? It's a report that has been reported by a couple of credible journalists. So it's definitely something that is serious. Now, for a player like Rodrigo, the thing is, we are going to know whether we're going to sign Rodrigo or not very, very soon. You're not going to have to wait until July or August. Why? Because there's a Club World Cup coming up very soon. Real Madrid are competing in that. They're getting Xabi Alonso as their new manager soon. So if Rodrigo is featuring in that Club World Cup for Real Madrid, that potentially means he's not going to be leaving, because that runs all the way to July, and you'd expect Real Madrid to go further in that competition. So I don't think he would be leaving after that if he plays in the Club World Cup for Real Madrid. And also the new manager coming in, I think he will decide whether he wants the player there or he doesn't want him. So if they're going to be signing replacements, then that shows you that Rodrigo will be leaving. If they don't sign any replacements, that kind of shows you Rodrigo will be staying. So that is just the first reason, the Club World Cup. Number two, it's not going to be Arsenal only that want this player. So by the time we get to the middle of June, we are going to know whether we are the favorites to get him or not. Because for a player like Rodrigo, you'd expect Man City to want him, because I do think Man City need a winger, because the likes of Doku and players like that have been okay, but I don't think they've given Man City enough end product, say with Savinho and players like that. So you'd not be surprised to hear that Man City want Rodrigo. Teams like Bayern Munich would want Rodrigo. Chelsea, have been mentioned, although I've seen reports they're saying Chelsea are not seriously considering him, but they're in the conversation. Who knows? Maybe a Liverpool will be in the conversation. So Bayern Munich, Dortmund, like there's so many teams that would want Rodrigo, because this kind of player doesn't always become available. Now, I'd expect 6 or 7 teams to be interested in him. So if we hear that Arsenal are favorites by the middle of June, then we can be a little bit confident. But if we hear that, okay, Man City have now started discussions as well, and Rodrigo's already talking to Man City and all that, then he'll be a little bit concerned. So I'm sure by the middle of June, we'll get to know whether this player is going to come to us or not. And also the other part is, if we just hear reports on Rodrigo for the next 2-3 weeks, that means a very serious. But if it goes silent and then you start hearing, Arsenal are going for Nico Williams instead, and that is advanced, or Arsenal are going for Lookman instead, that is advanced, or Arsenal going for Mbeumo instead, that is advanced, I don't expect Arsenal to sign more than one winger. So if we show interest in someone else, or start, piling up the deal or the pressure on getting someone else, then that will probably mean we're not going to go for Rodrigo. So we'll get to know about this very, very soon. He also says talks have begun behind the scenes. The 24-year-old is a potential departure candidate at Real Madrid. It's difficult, but Arsenal are currently exploring all options for a possible deal. So yesterday we said it's going to cost around 80 million. Now, personally, I would have wanted us to sign a striker first, but again, it depends. I think with all these deals, these players that we want, Gyokeres, Rodrigo, Lookman, I think if you want these players, we're going to have to get the deals done in June, because I don't think any of them are going to be available in July or August. You're going to have to start looking for backups and basically the remaining the crumbs remaining in the pot and all that, because all the big players will have gone to other teams, because this is going to be a busy transfer window. Teams like Man City and Newcastle are going to be looking for players. Barcelona will be looking for players, so there's no time to waste. And that's why we've been told that our directors talked to more than 15 attacking players, and Rodrigo is one of them. So first of all, I'm very happy to know that we are linked to such kind of players. 5-6 years ago, we'd never been linked to such kind of players. So for us to be linked to Rodrigo, that is a huge thing for us, because actually thinking that we might actually get him, that is even crazier. So let's see how this one goes. If you're going to get him, you're going to have to splash that 80 to 85 million pounds. I don't think it's going to be. At first, they reported 100 million, but that was in euros, so it's around 85 million pounds. But I don't think it's going to go any lesser than that. Real Madrid rarely sell big players like this, but if you're going to buy one from them, it's going to be 80, 85 million pounds. So let's see how it goes. Excited, but let's hope we do get these big signings. If you go with Rodrigo and Gyokeres into next season, like the mood would be so much higher than what it was heading into this past season or this kind of season. It would be a huge deal. So let's see how this one goes. This has been reported by Florian Plattenberg. So let's see if we get any more news. Now, if that doesn't happen, these other wingers have been linked to like Mbeumo. So according to some C, Arsenal are targeting players they believe are currently undervalued but have significant potential. Juan Garcia, Brian Mbeumo, and Benjamin Sesko all fit that profile. Now, for Benjamin Sesko, I think that is like our main target. I think that has been our main target for the last 2 years. We've been told Barta's coming and he wants Gyokeres more, but we had done a bit of groundwork on Benjamin Sesko. But we've also been told that his release clause has gone up. It's no longer the 50, 55 million pounds has gone up to like 70, 75 million. So he's no longer like cheap, like he used to be last season. So as of now, Gyokeres is a cheaper asset than Sesko. For me, I think it's a no-brainer. You have to get Gyokeres. Now, it depends. Tonight, there's a final between United and Tottenham. If United win, does Gyokeres want to go and play for Amorim like he used to play for him at Sporting? That also becomes a thing. So you really have to do the groundwork on all of these players, because we're not going to be the only ones wanting them. Even United might end up getting Gyokeres if they make Champions League. That's the thing. You have to be very serious and you have to be very quick in trying to get these deals done. And it's a lot of work for Bart and Ateta, but that's the kind of position we've left ourselves in, and we have to be very serious and very quick in this transfer window. He also mentions Brian Mbeumo, market opportunity. You are told is going to cost around 50 million. This is a tricky one. Is he going to be a backup for Saka if he joined Arsenal? Is he going to play as a false nine? Is he going to be on the left wing? Is he going to agree to join Arsenal? And if first team spot is not guaranteed, I think Mbeumo is a first team player. So if you went to a team like Newcastle, you'd definitely start. Another team that would want him, he'd definitely start. Let's say if Salah had left Liverpool and then they want Mbeumo and you guarantee him a starting spot, he would join them. For us, I don't think we can guarantee him a starting spot. It would be nice having Saka, Gyokeres, Rodrigo starting, and then you look at the bench, you have Havertz, Mbeumo, Trossard, Martinelli. It would be great having all of those players in the team, but unfortunately, some of them are going to leave, and you're not going to get all the wingers that you want. You're only going to get 1 or 2 forward players. Although I want 3, I think you're only going to get 2. Juan Garcia is the other one, a goalkeeper who's been linked to us a lot. Espanyol might be relegated this weekend. I think they're 17th, but if they lose and the other team wins, they could be relegated. So that will allow Juan Garcia to leave Espanyol for a cheaper fee. But just like the Mbeumo situation, Juan Garcia, does he really want to come to us and be a backup? Because for me, Raya has been one of our players of the season. I don't think you need to replace him. And Juan Garcia is linked to more than 10 teams from what we've been told. But a player like that costing around 20 million, 25 million, that is a bargain, because Juan Garcia is a very, very good goalkeeper. So we are involved in all of this discussion. So let's see what takes place over the next couple of weeks. The transfer window has not even opened. The season is not even over yet. But because the last couple of transfer windows, people haven't really spent that much money, and people have been worried about FFP and in our situation, we had a bad season, especially in the Premier League, and we've had a lot of injuries. We need to be very active in this transfer window. Teams have already started making deals or getting deals done, and discussions and talks and groundwork and all that so early in before the transfer window even opened.